Hi, everyone.
Everyone.
Welcome to another episode of Weconomix. And today we are back on
WeWealth. This is another episode of WeWealth. You may have seen the previous one on gold, and this is gold part 2.
follow up. Yes, a follow up on gold. And um, we just want to give an
Overview on
overview of, yes, why we are doing this because we are not,
the reason for WeWealth.
right, we are not promoting any
Investment plans as well. We're not financial advisors. We're not recommending anything to be purchased.
yes, correct.
We just want everyone to kind of. We have questions, we in
Yes.
Swami always talk about, hey, why is this? What's this
What's
happening?
happening?
Goals? Why is Bitcoin doing that? What is doing that?
Correct.
So the same questions we have and what we try to understand is
Right.
that we are sharing with you as well.
So because we have an economist on board, so we are going to
Hey, in economics, if better economists or not, I guess you guys will decide. But yeah, so it's more of like an awareness
Yeah.
podcast.
Yes, and also, there's a lot of new things happening when it comes
Very,
to wealth, right? Okay,
especially in a couple of years.
yes, you mentioned Bitcoin,
Mhm.
right? So now Bitcoin is also very new,
Yeah.
very young in the scene as far as a diversification in wealth portfolios.
Definitely.
Okay, so that's something new. When we look at the graph of gold price,
Hmm.
and we see how it's spiking now.
Yep.
That spike in the last, I would say 1 year.
Yeah, because this 1 year has been
1 year, especially the 10 months, it's like a rocket launching. We want to discuss why this is happening because clearly it's showing some type of paradigm shift in global economy.
a very unprecedented type of movements.
This unprecedented movement, what is it beckoning? Is it a sign of you think economic prosperity, or is it going to be
What is it showing?
what is it showing?
What does it mean to us? What does it mean for the world?
Right. So as a discussion platform, we want to promote this discussion because for whatever that's going to come, whether we are going to hopefully just maintain where we are now and slowly move up like how we'd like economies to do. Okay, not go up too high and then crash, or go down too low and make it
Not so
so
volatile,
difficult.
also spiky and
Right.
uncertain.
Go down so low and it's very difficult for us to climb back up.
Yeah.
So we always, stable and moving up slowly is, of course, the best way. And that's what all countries will hope
Yep.
from
That's
their
the
economy
plan.
and their output. That's always the plan. But when we see this spike in the price of gold and that we have a new entrant in the scene as far as Bitcoin goes, and the trade war, right? The trade war that is definitely doing something to the strength of the US dollar, which for decades now, since basically 1970, right? Or actually since World War II.
Since America was the
Yes.
only productive economy after the whole world was building itself.
So US became the guarantor for stability in the world economy.
Everybody went to them for.
And now it looks like it doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yep.
So there is definitely a balancing act that's happening at this current time. And I don't know if anyone has a conclusive understanding of where this is going to lead.
Yep.
Because there's so many factors playing in, and with Bitcoin coming in as a totally new type of wealth.
And also every day seems so different nowadays, One day is this, another day is that.
Right. And suddenly there's people are talking about the AI bubble now, and the amount of money going into AI, they are saying is unsustainable. And then, Bitcoin, as soon as Trump signed the Genius Act and I think Clarity Act, the Bitcoin price just spiked. And then now it's falling. Okay.
What, I think 83, I think now.
Right. It went to
From
120
120.
plus thousand per Bitcoin. It's now, 85.
Yeah, because like
1,000.
people used to say, like Swami was talking, people used to say that Bitcoin mimicked gold graph. But lately you've been seeing a lot of
Differences. But anyway, for this podcast, we just want to go through how gold works as a store of value, how is it that gold is a store of value.
Yep. And today we're focusing primarily on the spike in gold prices from late 2023 to where we are now. I actually have the graph here. I want to show you guys. So you can see in late 2023, it's at $2,000 per ounce. And today we're at 4,000 after a peak of 4,300. So me and Swami are wondering, because we know why it happened in 2020, why it happened this year, because Trump became president, trade war was happening, a lot of uncertainties around the world, and people don't know what to do with their money. So a lot of people bought gold.
Yes, and not just people, central banks.
Yes, which is a big, huge buyers.
Right.
Who usually, like you say, usually buy the US dollars.
Yes, they usually buy US dollars, but this year, central banks actually have increased more of their gold reserves than buying US debt for the first time.
Yep.
That graph, it shows, okay, gold reserves in world central banks have gone up higher than the amount of reserves US treasuries that they have.
Yeah, and some say this is just the beginning of that.
Right.
This is just their movement towards gold. So we don't know how much more they will be buying in the future.
Exactly. So everything basically is hinging on economic data coming out of the US,
Yep.
which is moved to a very gray area now.
We don't know. We're waiting for independence to come out with
Because we had the trade war, didn't know. Now the economic data, because of the shutdown and all that, is delayed, which is unprecedented because the world's economy depends on the data coming out of the US because it's a US consuming power, right? People want to know how healthy the consuming power is in the US, what the unemployment rate is, what the inflation rate is. So all that has been delayed because of the shutdown.
Yeah, so that's basically what we've seen in 2025. But then, me and Swami were looking at the graph and how do we explain the rise in 2023 till 2024 before Trump he became president of America? And we realized it's the Chinese property bubble. China has been, news has come out a lot for a while about how they have ghost cities and how much they have such overdevelopment because a lot of people invested a lot in property. Like it became a norm for investment to be buy a house.
Yes, yeah.
And everyone bought 2 or more houses
Right.
that no one ever moved into, and they were just a lot of developers defaulted on how much they were borrowing. Suddenly, property no longer seemed like the safe haven it's supposed to be.
Yeah, and also the Chinese government under President Xi decided to pop that bubble by stopping capital inflows into the real estate market in China.
And that he brought that out earlier before it got so much bigger.
Right.
And so a lot of Chinese people didn't know what to do with their money and were afraid. And also the Chinese yuan was also losing its value because of all of this. And gold was, again, it's become the historical safe haven for everyone. And that would have just slowly continued, but then it just continued rallying on this year after Mr. Trump continued his uncertainty of what's going to happen in America and around the world.
So basically 2023, towards the middle of 2023, when gold price started to go up to probably
from $2,000 onwards it started.
So it's moving up.
And we thought, okay, so price. Every time and I was in office, my colleagues talking about, every time you bring up gold, they're like, oh, gold's really reached its peak. Everyone is so confident because it's 2000, suddenly it was like 2005. That's $500 in such a short span of time. Everyone thought, oh yeah, it's going to come back down. All assumed gold is too expensive, don't buy it now, it's going to come back down. But it never did till this recent little dip it had.
So what you are saying is 2023 to 2020, end of 2024, basically the price of gold went up because of the Chinese buy-in.
Yes.
Right? So it came out
Certainty that happened in China.
because of the economic bust in China. Because of their property, they had deflation.
Yes.
Right? And across the board, they had a massive deflation issue in China.
That's strange because one is property price when things got cheaper for them, but the yuan also lost value. So I don't know how to explain because internally probably they had a lower price.
Well, what it does, obviously, it creates a lack of confidence in the economy. And when people are still generating income from that money, from that economy, and they don't want to put it into the banks because of deflation issues, so then they will choose a safe haven to store the value right? So that is very inherent in us as humans.
Yes.
You want to store the value of your currency, of your wealth. Okay, we just naturally go to gold.
Yeah, because what can happen to gold?
And
What's
also,
going to happen to that Baha?
it's historic.
Yeah.
That's what wealth meant since
Since you can remember, since
Yeah.
civilization,
since people
yeah.
discovered how to purify this yellow metal.
Yeah, I watched this documentary once. They said cows were one of the first exchange of values, but the problem was it was too heavy, it was difficult to bring around, and then eventually gold became that because
Right.
any other country has gold as well. Like, "Oh, yeah, we can exchange this,
Right.
we can do this, we can. This chip is worth this
Right.
much."
So if we all have an economic DNA, right, then that DNA will just take us back to gold whenever it comes to
Yeah.
uncertainty.
Actually, it's probably one of the biggest things that unify human beings. You think about it. Anywhere in the world, gold was like, wow, what is this?
Right.
What is this alien-looking
Yeah.
mineral? Again, also is cheap to not cheap to store. It's easy to store. It doesn't spoil. Even if the asteroid hits something like
Right.
gold,
You once you
if
refine
molten gold.
Yes, once you refined it and keep it somewhere, generally it'll stay safe, it'll stay refined, and of course you cannot destroy it. Even if it's a chemical reaction, the atom still stays, unless it's a massive fusion reaction that changes the atom to something else. Once gold is taken out of the ground, purified, and it has that value, then it remains that value, right? 1 gram of gold is just stays as 1 gram of gold. And however you assess the value is what you can do with that at that moment in time. It will always stay there, right? Unless you add value to what you're going to buy, like we talked about in the last episode, right?
Yeah.
Right. If you add value to something, yeah, the gold will also, the amount of gold you need to purchase that increases,
Yep.
right? But at the same time, if you misrepresent the value, right? You misrepresent the value, you will see the price of gold will remain.
Yep.
Right.
And that's why we want to explain how gold is not actually getting more expensive. It's just currency is losing its original value, or the
Yeah.
trust in the currency, or the ability to keep that currency as a store of value is
Yes.
going away.
Right.
So gold is actually, like you always say, gold.
Yes.
Gold is always gold.
Right. Right. So when you purchase gold, you are just purchasing wealth.
Yeah.
And at this current,
Protecting yourself from how much
Right.
currency is printed outside. What's the next president going to say? You're just holding back to,
right.
Anything happens, at least I have this.
So in conclusion, right now there is massive uncertainty in the global economy. Right, we have a lot of interesting pressures, some very new type of pressures.
New problems we never thought he would actually
Yes,
have.
exactly. That's right. So gold is showing,
Stability.
yeah, it's invincibility as a store of wealth.
Yeah.
Right. So it's always,
It's how timeless infant gold is.
yes, at this point, it's always good to think of diversifying portfolios if you choose to, right?
Yeah.
You can do your own research, find a good place to at least keep some percentage of the value of your savings or whatever
Yeah.
in gold.
The gold is still volatile. It's just its behavior this couple of years has just been a little different.
I would say it's more stable,
It's true, but
because,
considered a volatile asset. But it's just so.
yeah, because whenever you print any kind of wealth like currency out of thin air, and give it no value, give it no value and just call thin air its value, then what happens is the price of gold goes up. Because again, what you are doing is you are saying something has value, but it doesn't. And
You're backing
gold,
it up.
yeah, gold simply sniffs that out
Yeah.
in whatever it is,
It's very well.
and
put.
then the currency drops in value.
Goes like a detective.
Yes,
Go
exactly.
play detective.
Yes.
Trying to print extra, huh?
That's right. Okay. So anyway, we are going to close off this chapter of WeWealth, and the next one we will get into Bitcoin.
Yes. I explain how that's going.
Yes, what we think about Bitcoin,
Yes.
because Bitcoin is being touted as a store of value also.
Yeah.
All right, so let's look into that in our next episode of WeWealth.
Yes. And also with that said, again, we're not here to advise anyone to buy or do anything. It's just what we feel about gold. And if anybody here has any other different views on what's happening with
Right.
gold and why why this price hikes and dips and happening, please subscribe, comment, let us know. And we would love to answer your questions as well and see what view you have about a sudden spike in gold prices and what the future of gold you think.
Yes, exactly. What's
What's the next
coming
for gold?
next? Yes,
What's
what's the next?
2026 gold going to
Right,
be?
2026. Exactly, right? Okay, so until then,
Thank you so much for watching.
we hope that you found this podcast useful
As
and
us from Economics. And till then, let's
strive to thrive.